test beds. I'm ready with my products. So we are talking about OPAS, and definitely you're going to have process industries, and process industries have hazardous areas, most of them. And I'm going to show you something on what we are able to do. Just a brief background, we have STAHL specifically in the hazardous area. We do electrical, we do lighting, a lot of other things. There are about 4,000, 5,000 products, but specifically automation, intrinsic safety, remote IOs, Ethernet, APL, field bus power supplies. You still do it in India, not elsewhere. Fiber optics, wireless access, purge, HMIs, and cameras. That's the product range that we have, and going and building upon that, we are looking at solutions, what we can offer in the hazardous areas. What do we do currently? When you're putting a controller, and specifically you have an application on a process kit or a package vendor, you would put it in a purge or you would put it in an explosion-proof enclosure. And what we are trying to do is see that you have the hardware with the software ready for hazardous area in a standard EXE enclosure. Reduce the cost which you spend on aluminum and steel or purge and air utilities, but rather spend on technology. So that's the objective there. You know all this. The only thing is, where do we fit in? What are we going to do? What are we going to focus on? Advanced control platforms, the DCNs, the DCN IOs, the gateways for the existing legacy system. So what we see in the ecosystem, a very good role for us with our IS1 and the open softwares. We are hardware experts. We are able to provide you hardware for the worst case installations. And if that is our focus, we want to keep that core competency and then use the core competencies of others, Yokogawa, Codesys, Stratton, OPC UH, Universal Automation, and then load these into our hardware to provide you an architecture, provide you a product for the OPAS architecture. That's where exactly we want to focus on. We have been doing remote IOs for more than 30 years. This goes very fast. Maybe I need coffee. So 2000 is this form fit factor when we started off, and 1987 were the old models, and this form fit factor we have been maintaining all these years, very specifically to ensure that you have a total cost of ownership in terms of migrations and not having big challenges when technology moves, when products or electronics get obsolete. So taking that into consideration, we have now focused on moving from a remote IO to an extended IO. An IO with the software runtimes. We talked about IEC 6113. This particular product is from Codesys. And I can implement that. I can implement 1649.99. I can do it another 1131 package from Copa Data. Or I can have an open system like what Exxon has or what Reliance has. Just to clarify, the 3 with the asterisk is a zone 1 or a zone 2. The dash 10, 20, 30, 40 tells you what are the runtimes. But these are your standard runtimes available today. There will be the runtimes with the information models based on the OPAS standard. So then this 10 may become 20 or 11. I have to see what the product managers do. But this is what we intend to do, is provide a roadmap for our systems that they are able to move forward and they are able to have, as an end user, be able to implement OPAS and go to the next step from your current step. So that's why I said, keep your purchase orders and your checkbooks ready. And one thought, MTP. I don't know if you all have heard about modular type package. OPAF is also working on those standards together with NAMUR and implement MTP. We, with these softwares, will also be able to generate MTP files using the STAHL hardware. And that's your, I would say, the final goal with OPAS is to see that they are able to connect to the OCF, the OPAS connectivity framework, a DCN IO with an OPC UA or an OPA server, a DCN Compute Plus IO with a 1131 or a 1499, basically talking about interoperability, and you can use STAHL in that format using any of the software tools you need. Some of the test beds we have been around, including Reliance. This slide is a bit old, as Sunita mentioned. They are ready to go into FAT. We are there with them. Some of the examples there and some of the players with whom we have been working with Yokogawa and with Exxon with OPA servers, with Saudi Aramco, Georgia Pacific with the 61499 protocols, and with COPA with the 1131 protocols. So just a quick one on that. And certifications. I'm sure you all want to not face a situation that you take hardware from vendors and they don't work. Certification is there on board. The OPAF is working on it. There are some expected by end of this year, and we will be ready to certify, just as we already do the business of certifying our IOs for hazardous and harsh environment. That is all. Thank you. 4 minutes, or was it less?